Happy birthday, Fishtrap.
I have been to Fishtrap, let's see, this is my 42nd year. No, wait, this is...
I've probably been to around 25 fish traps. I've missed a few, and it's always a very odd summer.
About 6 or 7. This is my 4th year.
I was here at the first one.
And this is my 2nd. I've been here a while.
So how many times have you been here for? This is my 4th. And my 4th too.
I can't even figure it out. This is the beginning of our 20th year.
This is my very first fish trap. I am a fish trap newbie, and it is an amazing experience.
Happy birthday, Fishtrap, number 30. You don't look your age.
I was fortunate enough to be a fellow the first time I attended, and what I learned as a fellow helped me publish my first novel.
I actually was not consulted before being dragged here.
It's just really lovely here. Like it's a nice place to spend a week away from everything else that's going on in one's world and one's life.
I think this place is kind of magic.
This place is church.
Place of peace. It's a place of beauty and abundance.
It sounded really cool to just get to come out in this beautiful place that I love and write for a week with great people.
It's sacred space. I think part of what makes it special is it's a real pain in the butt to get to, you know? And so the journey to get here, I think, puts you in a space where you realize you're going somewhere away from the flow.
You know, you've got these trees, and you've got this lake.
There's such a presence in the landscape.
I just think you are with such talented, deep, wise writers in this place, in such an intimate setting. It really allows, it gives permission and kind of a blossoming, you know, of the work. My workshop felt like a community on day one, and I don't know many workshops that are like that. I feel like that takes time, and we had it from the get-go.
So I just try to get people in the river, and then we all flow helplessly along.
And it's all about the work and the people doing the work and helping them sort of get a little further down the path of where they want to go with their writing or their music or their poetry or their essays or whatever their creative endeavors.
Happy birthday, Fishtrap!
Happy birthday, Fishtrap.
Happy birthday, Fishtrap.
It's kind of like an ongoing seminar, and not just the craft of writing, but all the things we write about.
Get to be a lifelong learner for this week. We don't always get to be lifelong learners. Sometimes we just get squashed into the little balls, but during this week we get to blossom back out and meet lots of people.
Fishtrap was the college I never got to attend. The place worked on me. What I noticed is when I went back, it just had opened me in a certain way. And I mean, I don't have words for it, but I know it happened, and then it's happened again.
It's kind of like a season in which I'm renewed. I'm sort of deciduous. I drop my leaves when I leave here, and I get new leaves when I come back.
My new favorite memory is hiking with Cam on those mountains up there yesterday, and we crossed this this sort of ravine, which normally the trail goes through, but because of so much snow in the winter, it was a waterfall, and so we just had to decide whether we're going to cross. We decided we're going to cross, so we're waiting and getting soaked. We got a couple miles down the trail where no one should be because no one is dumb enough to cross a waterfall. And in the middle of the trail was this man just sitting on the trail reading a book.
And this morning, as we were holding workshop, I glanced out the side window and I saw a whole cluster of antlers going by, and all I could see were the antlers. And I knew, of course, that they were mule deer, and turned out there were 3 of them. And the one who had the biggest rack was in the lead. And then the 2 younger males who didn't have as many points were following along, trying to see what the big boy was doing. And it was so surreal, I called the attention of everybody in the room, and we just watched. All we could see above the rim of the window were the antlers.
Happy birthday, Fishtrap.
Happy birthday, Fishtrap.
Happy birthday, Fishtrap.
Root beer. We're tired of being adults. Yeah, bring us some ice cream.
Class convened every morning at 5 a.m. on the top of a bluff that took quite a lot of effort to climb to. And there we would watch the sunrise. No one would speak, it was quiet. And we watched the sunrise and the deer come out and the moon set on the other side.
My daughter's here taking a workshop with a niece. She learned to crawl here. She rolled over and got up on her hands and knees and started crawling. And we thought this is a perfect metaphor for, you know, this place.
You know, one time I left the camp, I went up the Aneroid Trail, and shortly after my brother had died, and I was just remembering how I would go on a trail like that with him. And I came out into this meadow ablaze with butterflies and sunlight. And this phrase went through my mind, I am feeding my brother. I don't know where that came from, I don't know what it means, but I think being in the company of people unprotected from their stories, their deepest places, things like that come forth. So I come back here to feed on the spirit.
I come outside and Luis was singing on guitar some mariachi song. And it was just this lovely little moment that it wasn't this thing where he whipped out a guitar and started singing this song. It was just this little cluster of folks that someone had a guitar, and then all of a sudden just there was 20 seconds of folks singing this mariachi song.
Somebody was talking about loving the forest, and our little tiny son said, "Honey, I don't call this a forest, I call this a room." And everybody was sort of frozen and started laughing, and I had never heard him use the term honey before. So that was like a little meditation of a child on this magical, gigantic room of Fishtrap, and that stays in my mind.
The place doesn't change as a place, and it continues to evolve, but you know, it's a community, and you have friends you've known now for 20 years, and there have been births and deaths and marriages and divorces and changes, and that's all part of what makes a family, I think.